Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
In the local scene, job seekers have only a few days left to register for the local recruitment activity of the provincial government of Albay through PESO Albay on August 7 at the Albay Astrodome compound. The hiring activity, conducted in partnership with Samsung Electromechanics Philippines Corporation, will offer employment opportunities in several positions, including production, engineering, finance, technical, and administrative roles. Interested job seekers are encouraged to complete their pre-registration through the official PESO Albay Facebook page, where the qualifications and requirements for each position are also available. Applicants are also advised to bring an updated resume during the recruitment activity. Provincial officials said the initiative is part of ongoing efforts to connect Albayanos with employment opportunities through partnerships with private companies and industry partners. PESO Albay is encouraging qualified applicants to register early and take advantage of the available career opportunities, and successful applicants will be deployed to Columbus City in Laguna. In other story, 100 undernourished children and nutritionally at-risk pregnant women have received food supplementation commodities under the Provincial Dietary Supplementation Program launched in Bakakay. The initiative forms part of Albay's continuing efforts to address malnutrition and improve the health of vulnerable sectors through community-based nutrition interventions. Beneficiaries received enhanced Nutri-Bonds, Nutri-Cookies, and fresh milk through a partnership between the Provincial Health Office and Albay Veterinary Office. Health officials said the food products were specifically designed to help meet the nutritional needs of children and pregnant women requiring additional dietary support. The program also includes regular nutrition monitoring, health assessments, and counseling to ensure sustained improvements in condition of beneficiaries. Under the initiative, undernourished children will undergo a 120-day supplementation cycle, while nutritionally at-risk pregnant women will receive nutrition support for 90 days. In other news, the Albay Biosphere Reserve Management Council has strengthened its conservation efforts through participation in the third quarter meeting of the Protected Area Management Board of the Buhi Wildlife Sanctuary in Camarines Sur. The meeting focused on initiatives aimed at enhancing biodiversity conservation, sustainable resource management, and environmental governance among protected areas in the region. One of the key proposals discussed was the recognition of the Albay Biosphere Reserve Management Council as a regular resource institution and observer in future meetings of the Buhi Wildlife Sanctuary Management Board. Officials said the proposed partnership would improve coordination, information sharing, and collaboration or collaborative action in addressing environmental challenges and protecting critical habitats. The initiative is expected to support stronger conservation programs and promote sustainable development efforts within and around protected areas in the Bicol region. The Council said the engagement reflects its continuing commitment to building partnerships that advance biodiversity protection and long-term environmental sustainability. In the national scene, former Commission on Audit auditors are expected to discuss the Commission's decision directing the return of 73.287 million pesos in confidential funds released to the office of the Vice President in 2022. The former auditors are also expected to address alleged irregularities in the liquidation of the confidential funds, which were uncovered during a 2024 inquiry by the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. The inquiry flagged acknowledgement receipts bearing alleged fictitious names, including Mary Grace Piatos, Milky Sikuya, and Kokoy Villamin. Based on certifications from the Philippine Statistics Authority and findings from the National Bureau of Investigation presented during the inquiry, many of the supposed recipients had no matching birth records. Several signatures on the acknowledgement receipts were also allegedly written by the same hand, among other questioned liquidation documents. In other story, the Philippine National Police urged the public to report credible information on gun-for-hire syndicates as it intensifies operations against illegal firearms and organized crime. PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartades Jr. said all leads are being treated with utmost seriousness, with police also hunting wanted criminals and working closely with prosecutors to help ensure swift convictions. Every piece of credible information can help save lives, solve cases, and hold offenders accountable, Nartades said in a news release Sunday. Nartades directed the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group to validate all information on alleged gun-for-hire operations as part of the wider crackdown on loose firearms. He also instructed the intelligence group to intensify monitoring of organized crime and contract killing syndicates and ensure timely information sharing with ground units. Police records show that organized crime syndicates rely heavily on loose firearms, with a single confiscated weapon often linked to two or more crimes. Nartades said the intensified operations against loose firearms and armed groups are also critical to ensuring peaceful and orderly elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. The PNP is also intensifying surveillance against individuals and groups allegedly using fake local government and socio-civic funds to defraud the public. The Office of the Executive Secretary earlier warned the public against individuals and groups falsely claiming they can facilitate the release of funds under the Local Government Support Fund and the Social Civic Projects Fund in exchange for money. Nartades urged the public to remain vigilant and immediately report suspicious activities to authorities so police can respond swiftly. The PNP is also investigating the recent wave of illicit cigarette seizures, with authorities saying recent arrests show that cross-border enforcement strategies are producing results. During the 44th Association of Southeast Asian Nations Chiefs of Police Conference hosted by the Philippines, Nartades said the PNP is developing joint measures with regional counterparts to strengthen border patrols against smuggling and trace the origin of contraband. In other news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, activated its quick response teams in field offices along the path of Tropical Depression Luis, assuring the public of sufficient relief supplies for communities that may be affected by the weather disturbance. The DSWD said it is ready to provide immediate assistance, including family food packs, in line with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive that no one should be left behind during calamities. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, PAG-ASA, reported that the center of Luis was located 400 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 was raised over the Polillo Islands, Camarines Norte, the northern portion of Camarines Sur, including Caramoan, Presentacion, Garcio Torrena, Lagunoy, Tinambac, Seruma, Goa, San Jose, Tigawon, and Calabanga, as well as Catanduanes. DSWD spokesperson Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao of the Disaster Response and Management Group said Secretary Riz Gatchalian directed field offices to monitor developments and strengthen coordination with local government units. She said the agency has heightened its preparedness measures to ensure the immediate deployment of food and non-food items once the need arises. The DSWD has prepositioned sufficient family food packs in hubs, spokes, and last-mile facilities, while stockpiles of non-food items, including sleeping kits, hygiene kits, and kitchen kits, are also available for families in evacuation centers. As of 6 a.m., Dumlao said the DSWD had 4.933 million family food packs nationwide ready for distribution to augment the resources of local governments in affected areas. And in the news outside the country, the death toll from the powerful earthquake that struck Japan's southwestern Kumamoto prefecture last week has risen to 38, while thousands of residents remain in evacuation shelters, state media reported Sunday. Authorities confirmed 36 deaths, while 2 other deaths are still being investigated to determine whether they were caused by last Tuesday's magnitude 7.1 earthquake, state broadcaster NHK reported. More than 9,200 people remain in 210 evacuation shelters, while over 3,400 houses have been damaged by the powerful quake. Tap water services remain unavailable for more than 69,000 households and businesses in Kumamoto. Medical facilities affected by the earthquake are also working to restore normal operations, with authorities reporting that around 30 people with suspected heat stroke symptoms were taken to hospitals on Saturday. Temperatures in some parts of Kumamoto rose above 37 degrees Celsius, raising additional health concerns for evacuees and rescue personnel. Officials warned the full extent of the damage has yet to be determined and that the number of damaged buildings could increase significantly as inspections continue. The Kumamoto prefectural government said search and rescue operations ended Saturday at an Aeon shopping mall, where 7 workers died and 5 others were injured following an explosion shortly after the earthquake. Japan, one of the world's most earthquake-prone countries, lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire and experiences about 20% of the world's earthquakes, with a magnitude of 6.0 or greater. In other story, United States President Donald Trump said Saturday that he canceled a planned military strikes against Iran after Tehran and other Middle Eastern countries requested time to finalize a framework for a peace deal, adding that Israel had joined the commitment. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump said the parties had agreed on a perimeters of a potential deal that would include the immediate, complete, and total reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and an end to Iran's nuclear threat. Trump said he agreed to cancel the attack for the future benefit of the world and the survival of a successful and prosperous Iran, but noted that the decision depends on the parties' ability to rapidly reach a deal. He also warned that the United States remains fully prepared to take military action against Iran, saying its military capabilities are at levels of strength and power not seen since World War II. Trump said Israel had also agreed to hold off on attacks as negotiations continue. And finally, in the news outside the country, with reference to the Philippines, the United States is launching a 30.8 million peso law enforcement training program to help the Philippines deter terrorist threats against Americans and Filipinos. The initiative was formalized through an agreement signed by the U.S. Embassy in Manila and the Zamboanga del Sur provincial government during a ceremony on July 30. Under the agreement, the U.S. Department of State's Anti-Terrorism Assistance ATA program will provide permanent and dedicated training facilities in Pagadian City for recurring specialized training courses for the Philippine National Police. U.S. Embassy Acting Senior Regional Security Officer Daniel Art said the investment reflects the U.S. confidence in the PNP and a belief that a safer and more capable police force will help create a safer Philippines and the United States and strengthen the alliance between the two countries. Zamboanga del Sur Governor Divina Grace Yu said the partnership will help enhance the capabilities of Filipino law enforcers, particularly in Mindanao, in deterring and preventing acts of terrorism. Yu said the initiative will also help strengthen security and stability in Zamboanga del Sur, Mindanao, and the country as a whole. The United States has been facilitating ATA courses for more than 10,000 Filipino law enforcement personnel since 2006. Around 2,000 PNP and other law enforcement personnel are expected to receive training at the new Pagadian facility every year. The U.S. Embassy in Manila said the investment supports the two countries' efforts to further strengthen their relations as they mark 80 years of diplomatic ties in 2026. That's the news at 12, August 3, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our news writers, LJ Lorejo and Ian Buitre. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. Our Provincial Information Office OIC Marty Gonzalez, and under the supervision of our Governor Noel Irusal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.